I have no idea where the time went. Originally, I just wanted to go to Walmart for a steam mop because I've been wanting one. There's just something about like mop cleaning and then like the little spray things. I feel like it leaves a film or it doesn't get it clean enough. And at the end of the day, like my socks are dirty again. So just, I wanted a steam mop. I know that is a no fail. Anyways, Walmart had it on sale for $49. I'm just gonna like pull the trigger and get it. So I went for the steam mop and somehow ended up with more than the steam mop. So I need to put this away before Diego gets home. Boy. Got a new candle. And I've been trying to figure out this entire time what it smells like. And I'm almost embarrassed to say what I think it smells like, but I like it and I want to keep it. It smells like the inside of an Abercrombie & Fitch store. And I like it. It's hilarious. I like it. It is Warm Leather Amber by Better Homes and Garden. People need to stop sleeping on Better Homes and Gardens. Like, they stepped it up. Okay, I want some watermelon. Okay, quick story time. Back when I was living in Alaska with my parents, my mom had gotten a watermelon one day, and it probably sat on the counter for like a day before we decided to cut into it. Anyway, so she cuts into this watermelon, right? As soon as the knife like pierces the skin, like all hell broke loose. This fucking watermelon exploded. It went fucking everywhere and the sound that it made was so fucking scary. And ever since then, this, mind you, this was years ago. Years ago. Like I'm pretty sure I was still in high school. I remember it so vividly how much it scared me. And to this day, like I get scared cutting watermelons because I'm like, I still don't understand why that one watermelon exploded the way it did. So I was worried, I'm like, what if I got an exploding watermelon? I don't know. I mean, it wasn't, I don't think it was a bad watermelon. It was just, I don't know, it exploded. Does somebody know why watermelons explode? I picked a good watermelon. This looks good. I still need to go back to the store. It's frustrating. I just remembered. So one thing that I read, you know, I'm trying to be as prepared as possible through this whole chemo journey. One thing I did read was that you get really bad chemo brain, which is very similar to pregnancy brain. I'm gonna take your guys' word for it. I mean, I've never been pregnant, so I don't know what that feels like, but chemo brain sucks. I forget a lot. Like, I forget the words I'm trying to. I have a hard time finding words when I'm speaking, and it's frustrating because I don't like being inarticulate. I'm not very articulate. I'm not a very smart person, but when I am inarticulate, I feel stupid. So, another one is I forget things, you know, especially going to the store, I'm like having to make myself grocery list, because normally, I have to like write down the list, because I'll forget. I'll get literally everything but the main things I needed to go. Like today, I know I wanted the steam mop, and I remember the steam mop. That was like one of the first things I ran straight to grab so that I didn't forget. But I was so focused on not getting the steam mop that I forgot the other things that I wanted to get, which was corn tortillas, and oh my God, I'm gonna forget again if I go to the store again. God damn it. Corn tortillas and lettuce. Wanted lettuce because I'm gonna make enfrijolados. Enfrijolados. No, now I gotta look it up because I don't remember what it's called. I know how to spell it. Enfrijoladas. That's what I want to make. I want to make enfrijoladas. And I have everything but the corn tortillas. Ugh. Got our free trees. Funny story. Was it like a month ago? I saw that the city of Banning was giving away free crepe myrtles for the city of Banning electric customers or something. I don't know. So you can go in there and like register and pick up 2 crepe myrtles of your choice, like your color. And today was pickup day. I completely forgot, but we made it work. We got it stuck in the car. Free trees, of course. How many tickets are left? Okay, this right here is an on-body injector. It was filled with Neulasta, which is a bone marrow stimulant. I had to do this after every chemo appointment because my white blood cell count was so low. The reason why I look so uncomfortable is because I'm waiting for the injector to snap in place.
Yeah, it's like right in the beginning.
I know, son of a bitch.
All done. Yeah.
You know what? I do have stuff to talk to you guys about, and I did write it on a sticky note so that I can stay on track and speak about this. Give me a minute. So after my video of my health update of my diagnosis and my treatment plan and how everything's been going so far, I realized I didn't really answer a whole lot of questions, and people did end up having questions. It made me mad, and it made me not want to do videos. It made me not want to be open about my condition, which isn't really a condition. I'm not going to call it a condition because really it wasn't that bad. There's people who had it worse, and I did not have it that bad. Although chemo fucking sucks. So I do have some answers for some people that don't know these already. If you do, that's fine. You don't have to watch this. But if you do have questions about my specific experience with chemotherapy treatments and ovarian cancer, maybe I can cover that right now. So first, my treatment plan consists of, when I first got my diagnosis, my oncologist kept referring to my treatment as cycles. She was very vague, and it was really upsetting, and I know that was my time for me to ask questions, but when you just get diagnosed with ovarian cancer and they start throwing out words like mucinous carcinoma and chemotherapy, and you start naming drugs, like, clearly I don't know what any of that is. And so all the questions that I should have asked, I did not ask. So, you know, I left, and then bits and pieces started coming to me of, okay, she said, I'm going to need between 4 and 6 cycles of chemotherapy, and we can go play it by ear towards the end. So I don't know what that meant. So I had to look it up, and I'm like, what the fuck is a cycle? Like, is that 1 round? I understand rounds. You can say 4 rounds of chemo. I get that. Anyways, so you start digging, you start doing your little research because you want to know, you want answers. So My treatment plan consists of 4 cycles of 2 different types of drugs. So 4 each. Well, I guess it would be year round basically. So I have 4 cycles of Taxol and 4 cycles of carboplatin. Both suck. Taxol's not so bad. It's the carboplatin. It's the carboplatin that has like the worst side effects and is what causes me to have all this. Which is crazy because that bag is only 30 minutes long. So when I go to my chemo treatments, I get checked in and they get me set up in my little cubby. We do the checks okay. And then we do the pre-meds. Well, before we do the pre-meds, they ask if I want any lidocaine around my port, which I always say yes, because it hurts less. And then once that kicks in, then we start the pre-meds. The pre-meds consist of liquid Benadryl so that I have no reactions and just kind of makes me comfortable and compliant for the rest of the session. Then I get a nausea medication and I get a round of steroids. And then there's something else, but I don't remember what it is. I just let them load me up. And then we sit there for about 15 minutes for those to kick in. And then they go and get my 2 bags of Taxol and carboplatin. And then hook me up to the Taxol first, which is a 3-hour bag. So they hang the bag and I have to sit there and it takes about 3 hours for the bag to empty. And they'll come in, switch the bags out to the carboplatin, and that one's about 30 minutes long. And then once that's done, they'll flush my port and send me on my way. The whole process, I have done 3 rounds so far, and the whole process has taken about 5 hours. You know, getting checked in, doing the checks, making sure everything's okay first. They ask about my history. I usually ask them about my blood work before, and then this last round, round 3, took like 6 freaking hours, only because they did not have any carboplatin and they didn't want to start my treatments if my oncologist said she wanted me to have both of them at the same time. So they didn't start the Taxol until the oncologist gave the thumbs up that I can have it even though there was no carboplatin. It was a whole mess. They ended up finding carboplatin at a different facility that had to get transported over. So they started my Taxol while we were waiting for the delivery of the carboplatin. But it wasn't a full dose, it was only a partial dose, but it was the majority of the dose. It was a mess. But we got out of there freaking late, and that was a long day. It was a long day. Anyway, so that's the chemo treatment that I'm taking. Taxol and carboplatin. Ooh, hair loss. As you can see, I mean, you saw from my last video that I shaved my head, and I haven't really made myself present since then. So yes, the hair is gone. It probably after a week started growing back immediately, like pretty fast. And I was like, oh, my hair's growing back, and it wasn't falling out anymore. I could rub my hair, I could rub the little buzz, and nothing was happening. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so it won't be so bad. Maybe this is the end, and this is all I'll see for hair loss, and I can start growing my hair back. No. About a week ago, my fuzz started growing back, and I woke up, my pillow's covered in little bits of hair everywhere. So we went and shaved it to the skin again so that it doesn't start making a mess everywhere. So yes, the hair loss is still going on. But I have no head sores. I'm keeping it very protected. I have silk scarves and hats that I wear and keep out of the sun because your scalp is super sensitive. But other than that, still bald. The hair loss though, it's complete hair loss. Like my legs don't grow in. I lost the hair out of my nose, which is really weird to see. My nostrils are bald. I have no hair in my nose. And I'm noticing that my eyebrows are coming out pretty good. They're thinning really bad. And then my lashes are falling out just from blinking. That's been a little frustrating, is seeing my lashes and my brows go. But it is what it is. I know some people had said, couldn't you wear like a cold cap? Because a lot of people try to do their own little research and they're like, oh, you should have done a cold cap. That's a machine that you have to rent. It was not offered to me. And I've been there 3 times. I've never seen a machine there, so I don't think they own one. And honestly, it really is not a big deal for me to be losing my hair. I mean, it was emotional, but it wasn't to the point where I've already spent a whole lot of money on this. So I really wasn't in the mood to ask about renting a cold cap machine to maybe save my hair. So that didn't happen. But yes, if that is something that is important to you, absolutely, definitely ask if there's a machine that they can rent or let you borrow while you're having your treatments for a cold cap. And it's essentially a machine that hooks you up and gives you like ice cold like air or something through your head, and it helps kind of freeze your follicles and helps them not get damaged by the chemo, which is what causes the hair loss. So it is something to look at. You can go on Amazon. After my chemo, my head was on fire. It's usually on fire, like my head just is hot. So I have a take-home cap. I bought it. It was like 20 bucks off Amazon. I can kind of freeze the gel packs and put it in a beanie and stick it on. It feels amazing. So if that's the route you want to go, yes, I did it for comfort, not because I was trying to prevent my hair from falling out. So they said your nails, both on your hands and your feet, change. Already I don't have great nails, so I didn't really notice too much change until this last week that my nails have just been super brittle and dry, and my hands look great right now because I actually just did a hand mask while I took a nap for like the last hour, so they feel amazing. And I did a foot mask, so that's really great. But one of the side effects to carboplatin is discolored nails, and I think it said like soft nails that may rip off the bed of your fingers. So I've been scared about that, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I don't feel like my fingers are that brittle and that sensitive. So yeah, no change in the nails though. Just I cut them really short because they kept breaking and snagging on things. Neuropathy is a weird one. Neuropathy is the numbness or tingling in your fingers and toes, feet, whatever, hands, toes, feet. I have that probably for the last month, and it's really weird to not feel those. And then usually when you feel numbness in your feet and hands, you're like, oh, blood clot. But at the same time, you're like, oh, but also neuropathy happens after chemo. So let's just hope it's that, not blood clots. But I have tingling in these 3 fingers, numbness in these ones. My toes is the same. They're tingling all the time. It doesn't hurt. It's more of an annoyance. It's like that feeling when your foot falls asleep and it's waking up. I have that constantly. But one of these days I'm sure that'll come back hopefully, but neuropathy is weird. My taste is kind of up and down. It hasn't been as bad as I've read. I have little bouts usually the week after chemo. Water starts tasting fucking weird. I've read that people think that it's butter, like melted butter. I get like a metallic fishy kind of flavor when I drink water, which sucks because I love water and I have to stay hydrated and I have to drink water constantly. So that's also why I've been getting fruit and trying getting my hydration in from that too. Nausea. Nausea is a weird one. It hasn't been bad until the last 2 weeks. This last 2 weeks, my nausea has been pretty bad, to the point where I can feel myself just kind of sitting there and get these bouts of nausea and I want to start dry heaving. I have been throwing up, not so much until this morning. This morning I actually got out of bed so I can go, probably had like a 20-minute round of just kind of dry heaving. I had nothing to throw up, so I had to drink some water so that I could throw up, and then so that kind of sucked. I was hoping to go this whole treatment without doing the whole nausea thing and sitting by the toilet, but it's here, so I guess that's where I'm at right now, is the nausea's here. I am tired all the time. It wasn't so bad at first. The last probably 2.5 weeks, I've just been exhausted. Everything feels depleted. Like my energy, I barely have to do anything. I'm exhausted. It's exhausting to walk from the kitchen to the living room, a type of exhausted. So I'm trying to focus on resting my body because my body needs to be healthy. I know I need to be taking care of myself so that I can fight this and be able to handle the chemo, because it's poison. It's poison that you're putting into your body, and you have to be strong to make sure that it doesn't make everything worse than what it is. So, and then like I said, chemo brain. Chemo brain is a big one. I lose my words. It's very foggy. I have very bad brain fog, and I lose my train of thought. I can't remember what I'm talking about, and I can hear myself sometimes slurring and jumbling my words up a bit. So I'll kind of throw in a jab there to Diego and tell him I'm not having a stroke. I'm just trying to speak. But it's frustrating because I like being more articulate than where I've been. Anyways, that is my experience so far with my chemo treatments. This week, I had my 3rd round on Wednesday. My oncologist saw my blood work from the previous day and said that my, I think it's the RBH, which is the size of your red blood cells. She says we're very small, and she wants to make sure if the reason is because I'm anemic still. So I had to go in and get some more labs done so they can check my iron specifically. I got the test results and it says my iron is way too high. So from what I'm gathering is I'm getting too much iron. I'm no longer anemic. I need to stop taking iron, but now I need to know why my red blood cells are so too small, why they're too small. So I meet with her on Monday, and hopefully she can tell me what we're doing and what that means. That I got my blood work and I compared it with my blood work when I first started this journey, and not that any of this makes sense to you guys, but when I first started, it was like 120 something for my cancer, for the cancer antigen blood test. The results were like way out of normal. It was like 126 or something, and then when I got the tumor removed, it dropped down to like 67, which is still way too high in terms of this cancer antigen test. And for my last blood test result from May 9th, it is now 16.8, and it's in the happy green zone. So that's pretty exciting for me. I'm assuming that means it's normal. I'm assuming that means that I am okay. That I have killed all the cancer cells or whatever. I'm just waiting for her to tell me that. And I'm wondering if she's gonna cancel my 4th round of chemo, or if she's gonna make me just play it safe and just do one more round of chemo. So I'll see what she says on Monday. I kind of want to be over this. I'm over it. This makes me feel like shit. I hate it. Anyways, that's what I've been doing.
These are big boxes. Oh, that's gonna be nice.
So during this visit, I was actually hoping that my oncologist would cancel my 4th session. Unfortunately, she said, just to be safe, we're going to keep the 4th session scheduled. So I was pretty bummed out.
what the BRCA mutation is. And everybody has the BRCA gene. Our body is composed of genes.
So that was actually my referral to get genetic testing done. So I'm still waiting on the test results for that. I had to watch a whole video about it. Anyways, my oncologist ended up canceling my 4th session and we kind of called it. I'm currently in remission and everything seems okay.